शुरू करते हैं. Get your videos on whenever you're ready. नमो अर्हन्ताणं नमो सिद्धाणं नमो आयिर्याणं नमो छायाणं नमो लोवे सौवसाहुणम् मङ्गलं भगवान् वीरो मङ्गलं गौतमो गणी मङ्गलं कुन्दकुन्दार्यो जैनधर्मोऽस्तु मङ्गलं सर्वमङ्गलमाङ्गल्यं सर्वकल्याणकारकं प्रधानं सर्वधर्माणां जैनं जयतु शासनं जैनं जयतु शासनम. चलिए, let us continue with our journey of the सात व्यसन. व्यसन किसे कहते हैं? वो जो हमारे लिए दुखदायक है, that which leads us to our spiritual bankruptcy. मतलब spiritually हम लोग बहुत लो चले जाते हैं. क्या व्यसन हमारे लिए कोई भी व्यसन अच्छा हो सकता है? Never. Okay. So Vyasan is something like an ingrained habit without which one cannot live. Intense attachment, restlessness, anxiety, impaired decision making, unethical behavior, emotional roller coaster ride, spiritual distraction. The biggest one for us is that which distracts us from our Atma. उसको व्यसन कहेंगे. उससे पांच पापों में हम ज़्यादा लिप्त रह जाते हैं. We tend to aggravate the five paps, and of course there are severe karmic consequences. So we learned jua khelna. What was bhav jua? So dravya jua is gambling, which we all know. Bhav jua matlab जीत में बहुत आनंदी होना और हाथ में. यस प्रशम, बोलो बेटा.
So isn't it like thinking thoughts which aren't like suppose I think it was like I lost so many pounds of weight and now I look so good. Is it something like that?
It is. But just like when you gamble, you're either on the very high or on the very low, isn't it? You either feel
Yeah.
very elate or you're like very, very upset with something. So that is the
Yeah.
example of bhav jua.
Okay.
Now, the next one we did was jua khela masahar. So masahar, the dravya masahar is something we would never do, isn't it? Like किसी भी चीज का जिसमें त्रस जीव है. What is mass? What is flesh? Anything that has त्रस जीव is called flesh. Now, why would we not eat any flesh? क्योंकि उसमें दो तीन चार पांच इंद्रिय जीव होते हैं. Okay, so none of us do that. But what is bhav masahar? This flesh, this body which we have, taking care of the body and thinking that I am getting happy. इस मास हार्ड मास के शरीर को अपना मानना. That is bhav masahar. Look, we'll read here the psychic vices. Psychic gambling, the erroneous belief, the ulti manita of victory when something favorable happens, of virtuous deeds, and defeat when something unfavorable happens. Okay, so that is bhav jua. Bhav masahar is soul's attachment to the physical body and its absorption. पूरा time अपने body के बारे में सोचो. That is bhav masahar. Then let's come to bhav madirapan. It involves the state of delusion where one forgets their true nature. मोह रूपी मदिरा को जिसने पिया है, that is bhav madirapan. Okay, so what, when we drink alcohol, you forget who you are. You cannot discriminate or distinguish between right and bad. Just like that, from Anadi Kal, because of this moha, we have forgotten that I am a pure soul and this body and everything external is not mine. ठीक है? So now would you agree, everyone, Arhan, Prasham, Avika, that each one of us is indulging in these bhav vyasan? हम द्रव्य व्यसन तो आई एम वेरी श्योर नन ऑफ अस वुड बी डूइंग. Okay, जुआ खेलना, मांसाहार, मदिरापान, हमें से we don't even think about it. But we have never ever thought that we've been indulging in bhav vyasan. every single moment in the day. Because do we ever forget the body is mine? हमको लगता है ना हमेशा, even if someone कोई ऐसे धक्का दे के जाए, तो you'll say, why are you doing this to me? पर आत्मा को कभी धक्का लगता है क्या? No, but we think this is my body, isn't it? Right? So we learned the three bhav Vyasans. Now let's go to the last three: shikar, parastri sevan, chori, and also Veshya Sevan. So let's go to the next four. We'll do the bhav first and then we'll do the dravya. Okay? So Veshya Gaman, Veshyas are call girls, prostitutes. Okay? Men go to them for physical pleasure. Now, none of you all, none of the people we know might ever even do Dravya Veshyagaman. But why is Bhav Veshyagaman important? It signifies the soul's tendency to forget its purity. The one who forgets that they themselves are very pure will go to someone who is very impure, right? So, like that, to forget the inherent purity of the soul and engage in the five sense pleasures. Anyone who does any of these saptavyasan, dravya vyasan, is because of sense pleasures. Okay, पांच इंद्रियों के सुख के लिए, and the five senses are constantly, they're like on fire, one sense after the other. I want a good touch, I want to taste something good. So, like that, bhav veshyagaman is the soul's tendency to forget. So, to forget the pure nature of the soul and indulge in the five sense pleasures. Give me one example of what have you indulged in for dinner or breakfast or whatever. Today, what is that thing that any of your senses indulged in? Give me a quick example. बोलो. I'm sure there are many many examples. मैं तो एक ही मांग रही हूँ. Okay, let me give you an example. Then you. So yesterday was Ashtami for us. So I fast on the Ashtami, and at night, because I got a little hungry, I was thinking of some food that I like for the sense of taste, rasnendriya. Okay, so was that bhav veshya gaman? Yes, because though I was not eating physically, but मेरा मन तो चला गया ना रसनेंद्रिय की तरफ. Like tomorrow when I wake up, I'll eat this and this. All right, now do you want to give me an example? This is something we do all the time. No examples? Yes, Amishi.
Everyone. So today I was just doing my work on the computer and I
Hmm?
felt really hungry as well. And I really felt like, oh, I want to eat something sweet.
Mm-hmm.
Because like it felt like it'll make me feel good if I eat something sweet. So I
Yeah.
had some like fruits.
Yeah, and whoever does any vyasan, they do it because of this thought that it'll make me feel good. No one does vyasan to make them feel miserable. They want to feel good, but the vyasans in turn will make us feel miserable later. In that moment, you might find some happiness, but in the long term, it's going to make us feel miserable. Okay, or maybe you were eating a pizza and at the same time you thought, wow, I must watch a good movie with the pizza, right? Or maybe you are watching a movie and at the same time you think, oh, I cannot watch a movie without popcorn, right? So the sense of the sight as well as the taste, both. Now, if I give you, Hazel, if I give you a movie to watch, but if I mute it, are you going to enjoy it if you can't hear anything? No, so you want to see, you want popcorn, you want ice cream, you want to hear it as well. And what if I tell you you have to sit on the floor and watch the movie? Would you like it? No, you want to sit on the most comfy couch as well. And if I give you all these, and there's some very foul smell, there's something that was lying in the fridge or in the pantry for a long time, and it's very foul smelling. I say, you can watch this movie, but I'm going to place this foul smelling something right in front of you. Would you like it? There's so many good things you can hear, you can see, you can touch, you can taste, but your sense of smell is going to be very, very upset with you, right? So, bhav veshyagaman is the tendency of the soul, is me forgetting the pure nature of my soul and engaging in 5 sensory pleasures. ठीक है सभी के लिए? So this is something which each one of us are doing. Now let's go to bhav shikar. What is shikar? Shikar, hunting. Okay, in today's day, not many people would go hunting, but in the olden days, this was one of the royal sports. All the kings and the very wealthy people used to go hunting. So this denotes the cruel disposition of causing harm to others. Okay, and this results in destruction of the conscious vitality. हमारे भाव प्राण. You cannot go hunting even if you have a little bit of compassion within you. So that bhav shikar, you're actually not going hunting for others. हम अपने परिणाम को, you're hunting your own soul consciousness, right? You're killing your own soul consciousness. Like, for example, if someone hits you, you get hurt, right? Of course. If I tell you to close your eyes and we do a little guided meditation on how someone is coming and they come with the axe or they come with a machete and they're trying to hit you. So you're just closing your eyes, and the moment I say they've come very close to you, you're going to move like that. You'll get scared, right? Yes, this would happen even in meditation. So imagine that jeev whom you've got thoughts of shikar, you want to kill. That jeev would have so much fury, so much anxiety within that jeev, right? So, similarly, with these thoughts of hitting others, hurting others, we are actually not hurting them. It is our soul who's feeling miserable with that. Let me give you another example. If I give you a hot stone, a very hot stone, like it's red hot, say, and if I tell you to hold that stone, I'm very, very angry with you. So I throw that stone on someone. Okay, so what happens to that person? They get burnt. What happens before that? What happens before that? Before I'm angry and I throw that stone on someone else, what happens to me?
You get burned.
Of course, because I'm holding it. So it's I who experience the pain first, the anxiety first, right? Similarly, someone doing chori, when you're someone doing shikar, sorry, when you're shooting an arrow or a pistol at that person, it is my bhav pran which I'm killing first, which I'm destroying first. Okay, so there's two types of pranas. So prana is the vitality. Okay, one is dravya and bhav. Dravya prana is why you and I are living. Okay, we are breathing. Our breath is the cause of our dravya pran, and bhav pran is that conscious vitality, the chaitanya atma, which we say. So when we decide to kill someone for our pleasure, you're killing that jeev second, but first you're ruining your own bhav pran. Okay, so I'm sure we never think of killing others, but don't we sometimes think of harming others for our own benefit? Okay, now there's four types of hinsa. We must understand these also. So the first one is Arambi Hinsa. Arambi is you go to do anything. Like you wake up and you go into the kitchen, you're heating some milk, mom is cooking, you're cleaning, vacuuming, doing the dishes, washing the clothes. Everything involves Hinsa. You agree? Because there's jeeves all around us. So first is Arambi. Second is Udyogi, any form of business. Anything you're doing to earn your money. Okay, that's udyogi hinsa. As a student, you might not be earning money, but you going to school also will be like some sort of work for you. So arambi hinsa, udyogi hinsa. Third is virodhi hinsa. Someone comes to hit you. Would you fight back or not? Would you defend yourself? Of course, as Shravaks, we have the right to defend ourselves. When some neighboring country comes and attacks the United States of America, would you defend yourself? Of course you would. Of course the US would, right? So, Arambhi, Udyogi, Virodhi, and the fourth one is Sankalpi Hinsa. So you decide, you see a cockroach there, and you make a conscious decision to hit it with your shoes or something. That is Sankalpi Hinsa. So out of these four, the first three are inevitable because we have a body, we need to eat. Because you have a house, you need to keep it clean. Because you have a car, you have to drive to go places. So we cannot avoid. Udyogi, we cannot avoid. We need money. You need Marxist students right? We cannot avoid. Sankalpi, well, I'm not doing anything to others, but if someone comes and hurts me, I have the right to defend myself. We cannot avoid. Can you avoid the sankalpi hinsa, the hinsa on purpose? Can you avoid deciding that I want to kill this jeev just for fun, for no reason, or even if that jeev harmed me? Can we avoid that? Polo? Yes. So you and I, all Shravaks, should do whatever we can to avoid this Sankalpi Hinsa. Okay? So this Shikar is actually Sankalpi Hinsa. You want to kill that for some momentary pleasure. Now, we are not killing anyone, but causing harm to others. It could just be a simple example of siblings, okay? A younger one. Amishi, you've got a younger brother? Okay, say your brother is very, very small, 2, 3, 4, many years younger than you, and mom or dad buys ice cream, okay? And there's only two ice creams, and you want both of them. So you just push your brother so that you go first and you gulp both the ice creams. That could also be bhav shikar. You caused harm to someone. I know you wouldn't do it, but you caused harm to someone, right? Okay, so
Yeah.
shikar doesn't necessarily mean hunting an animal down. Hunting any jeev with your thoughts of putting that jeev down is bhav shikar. There's two friends. So Prasham goes out with his friend, and Prasham's friend loses his, say, $5 or $10, whatever. And Prasham finds that money. Prasham, what would you do with that money? His friend is very, very anxious about it. Okay, my mom is going to be really cross with me because she gave me money to spend and I've lost it now. Prasham finds the money. Prasham, what would you do?
I would like give it to him. I should,
that
since it's
that's
like
nice. That's because you're a kind soul. But say if someone had this Vyasan, if someone was an unkind soul, he would take that money and have double the fun. तो उसने harm किया ना उसके friend को. So that is another example of bhav Vyasan. Having cruelty in your hearts to put others down, to cause some form of harm to others. So we saw jua khelna, masahar, madirapan, veshyagaman, shikar. Now let's come to parastri raman. So parastri is anyone apart from your spouse. So what is bhav parastri raman? Attachment to external entities such as the body and inclination to challenge others' intellect. So there's two things here, very, very important. Okay. So apart from your soul getting attached to anyone else. So the closest thing we can get attached to is the body, right? Yes, because before your parents, before your house, before your school, your body lies first. Yes, bolo. Yeah, so getting attached to the body, doing, going to the gym just to look good, all that inclination. And the second one is challenging others instead of focusing on yourself. Now, for example, you know the answer to something, yet you go and ask your teacher uh, to check if your teacher knows enough, to check if your friend knows enough, to make yourself feel that I really know everything, let me go and test someone else. That is also bhav parastri naman. You know it, yet you want to bother about what others know. You want to see if what others are doing is right or wrong, if what they know is right or wrong. So instead of indulging in your own self, uh, you know, being a pokey nose, going and not minding your own business. That is an example of how para is other than you, and para stri raman is indulging in someone other than who is your own. Okay, understood everyone? Bolo, not minding your own business in the simplest way, not minding your own business and thinking that the body is me and trying to beautify the body, being attached to the body. Now you are going to tell me, apart from the body, what is it that you are very attached to? And don't tell me anything. I'm very, very simple. I'm not attached to anything. ये बात मत बताना. है ना? What are you attached to? Bolo, Arhan?
My
It could be
parents,
my parents. Okay.
my
Bolo,
sister,
everyone. My sister, right? So apart from physical, apart from living beings like your parents, your sister, your friends, what else are we attached to? Bolo? Living
Like
attachment we
you're
understand. Ha, bolo
we're
bolo.
attached to like our room and our bed and like your favorite pen or
Isn't
something.
Absolutely. Don't even take my pen or don't even touch my phone or computer. Do you all say that to your siblings sometimes? All right? You get cross with it. How dare you do that? So all this comes under bhav, parastri, raman. Being attached to something, someone who is not you, who is not your own. The last one is chori. Okay? I bet none of us go and steal something that does not belong to others. None of us do that. Yet, physically, we might not. But bhav chori is something every split second, every summer, you and I are doing that. How? It is the intense attachment leading to the desire to possess the external objects. So this T-shirt which Avika is wearing, or these specs with Amisha or Hazel is wearing, I see it, I like it, and I think I wish I had that. Okay, you go out shopping and think of how many times you're doing bhav chori. Every single thing you see, and you think, I wish I had it. Or maybe that's going to be next on my wish list. All that is bhav chori, right? You go to someone's house and you say, wow, this vase is so good. I love these flowers in your backyard. I love this new compass box you've got. These are such awesome earplugs. I don't have these. So the thought that comes into your mind is, I would be so happy if I had them. Now, Prasham, what is that thought which comes to your mind? What is on your wish
Um,
list?
on my maybe something that I would like suppose I like this I like this plant, I want to buy it, or like something
Mm-hmm.
like I like this book, I really wish I had it.
Right. It could be something as simple as that. Or you
Yeah.
you go out for dinner, you go out for lunch or dinner at a restaurant, and you're ordering something,
You
and in
might
the
wish
meantime,
that you have like more of that or something like that. Like,
yeah. And someone on your neighboring table orders, you've ordered something, and someone on
yeah.
your neighboring table orders something, really big, and you say, I wish I had that. Again, that is bhav chori. तुम्हारे सामने जो है वो नहीं खा रहे हो तुम. Isn't it? Why don't you enjoy whatever you've been served? But this bhav chori is something that we are constantly indulging upon. All right. So do you understand how none of us is doing these dravya vyasan, yet each one of us is doing this bhav vyasan. Do you agree with me? Bolo? Yes or no? And see, what is the result of this? First is we think हम लोग बहुत दूध के धुले हैं. We are so pure. हम कोई व्यसन नहीं करते. That is the biggest mistake. हम सभी व्यसनी हैं. 7 व्यसनों में लिप्त है. Okay? And the second thing is, now understanding that it's a vyasan, and still keep doing it. Next time when you're indulging in your beauty, what will you think about? The body is different from the soul. If I think कि मेकअप करके मैं सुंदर हो रहा हूँ, you do your makeup, but understand that it is for the body and I am not the body. Okay? Now, since when has the soul forgotten its true nature? Since Anadikal, not since when you were born, but since time immemorial. Okay? And what has the soul done? It has indulged in rag and dvesh, passion, attachment, moha rag dvesh. But when the soul conquers this mithyatva, moha rag dvesh, what happens? When will the soul conquer it? When the soul realizes its true nature. And that's when we can get rid of all our vices. The only way we can overcome all our vyasan is when we uproot this mithyatva. And why is it so essential? Because until we have this mithyatva, the big monster M in our lives, the soul is going to continuously suffer day in, day out. Whether you're eating, drinking, sleeping, the soul is suffering. And who wants a life full of suffering? Anyone here who wants to get rid of suffering? Who would like to get rid of their suffering? Bolo? Only Amishi? No one else wants to get rid of suffering?
Me too.
Everyone, why wouldn't you want to get rid of suffering? And let me tell you, coming to Pathshala is one way to get rid of suffering. Because first we need to know कि suffering किसके अंदर है. Until I know that I'm suffering, until you know that there's something wrong with you, why would you go to the doctor? So, like that Jinvani Mata, our Muniraj are our doctor. They're doctors for the soul, right? Chaliye. So, how will we get over these vyasans? So, there's three steps. Don't ever do them. Don't get others to do them. Okay? So, because you've learned about vyasans, it's like मैं पाप नहीं करूंगी मैं भाई से पाप कराऊंगी. अमीशी ऐसे करोगे छोटे भाई से पाप कराओगे no, no, no. Don't get your friends to do wrong things. I'm not doing it. I'm not getting others to doing it. And third, very important, if someone is doing it, don't even approve of it. Okay, कोई शिकार कर रहा है वाह वाह बहुत अच्छा wow you did that shot was so superb I appreciate you don't even applaud anyone. Okay, so refrain from all the saptavyasan, refrain from applauding or supporting others, and be very, very mindful of cultural influences. Okay, a lot of the times as you grow up, the parastri sevan, veshyagaman, these might become normal things uh, as time passes. But always have this wisdom, wear this hat of wisdom of what is right and what is wrong. You and I are followers of Bhagwan Mahavir. How could we do something where hinsa is the core of that behavior? Okay, so avoid supporting any practices where pap is happening. What is the simplest way we can do that? So, Avi, we are doing a very important topic. We've continued the Saptavyasan. Cultivate loving relationships and seek support. If you're not sure of something, ask your parents, ask your elders. You can ask me in class whatever you want. Very important, do Swadhyay. Because we don't have Muniraj in Australia, we don't have any Muniraj. I'm sure you don't have any in America as well. We go to the temple, but it's only a statue. The statue is not speaking. However, we have our scriptures who's like, it's another universe where you get to learn so many things. So if you want to get rid of your vices, indulge in स्वाध्याय भगवंतों की वाणी सुनो and sat samagam your friend circle plays a very very big role with whom you spend your most of the time with. You know, it's said the five people you spend most of the time with, you're going to become like one of those five people. So make sure these are panchaparmeshis, so make sure these are gurus, make sure these are people with very high ethical
नीचे वाइट पे कहते हैं तो
okay, make sure these are with very high ethical conduct. So gambling, I would get one of you all to read this now. Yes, Prasham, pado, read the summary. Read this and then we'll do the four dravya vyasan which we've not done before. Prasham,
Okay.
pado beta.
Yeah. Summary. Gambling. Risking wealth in games of chance leads to financial ruin and moral decline. Meat consumption. Eating animal flesh contributes to harm to living beings and raises ethical and environmental concerns. Addiction to intoxicants. Indulging in alcohol or drugs leads to health issues and moral decay. Relationship with prostitutes, illicit contactions with sex workers results in family breakdown, moral decay, and social stigma. Hunting, pursuing and killing animals for sport or food accumulates negative karma due to cruelty.
1 second, no Prasham, 1 second. The biggest
Yeah.
one here in Veshya Gaman or relationship with prostitutes is the moral decay. Your ethics, they are just going down the drain. You are going to feel miserable about yourself. And what follows is the social stigma. And we've seen that karmas will not spare you. So there is a you're drowning further in this cycle of birth and death. Okay, with any of these vyasans. Yes, who else would like to read Avika? Badi Avika, pad. Unmute नहीं हो रहा है?
I can read now. Okay.
Yeah.
Infidelity. Cheating on a partner leads to family disintegration, moral erosion, and societal condemnation. Theft, unlawfully taking someone else's property, results in negative consequences and karmic burden. Psychic vices, delusive beliefs cause profound misery and suffering throughout eternity. Embarking on the journey of righteousness requires moral strength but leads to a fulfilling future. Choosing righteousness positively impacts both oneself and others. May all souls find solace by freeing themselves from vices.
How will we find solace? Solace is peace. How will we find that? By freeing ourselves from vices. Throughout this chapter, what did you learn? Which is the biggest vice? Which is the biggest vyasan that we all have been since Anadikal and which we have to get rid of? Who can answer that question? बोलो सबसे बड़ा व्यसन क्या है?
The Bhavyasan,
The bhav vyasan. And why do they occur? The big monster M?
since
Yes,
like
why do...
I think you're always thinking them.
Okay. Why are you always thinking? हाँ बोलो बोलो बेटा.
Moha,
Moha, it's that delusion. Right? Chaliye. So we have to complete the last four. Veshyagaman, engaging in a physical relationship, developing any form of friendship, frequenting their services, like, going to these hubs, and or going to pubs, bars to promote this sort of vice. And guess what? In today's world, there is so much happening on your phone in your homes. So making sure that you're away from all these apps which will lead to your moral decay, the moral erosion. So making sure whatever you are using, whatever you are indulging is uplifting you. Okay? Physically, spiritually, emotionally, make sure you indulge in that which uplifts you. The fifth one is shikar. Shikar is killing, pursuing, capturing any free roaming animals, birds. Okay? How? Using weapons like swords or guns. So, Hinsa is definitely the main goal or the driving factor for shikar. Why would someone do shikar? In the olden days, do you know? People used to meditate, and for meditation, they needed this skin. They used to feel proud if they meditated on the skin of the leopard or the tiger. Imagine how cruel would that be? Or people would love to have these antlers, the horns of these antlers, and that used to be like a feather in their hat. They used to be proud about them. Okay, so killing is actually a very monstrous behavior. It not just disrupts the environment, it endangers the planet. Okay, and the very thought of doing shikar of someone is going to take us to Naragati for sure. Remember, before hunting for them, you're hunting on your own soul. हम अपने भावों को खराब कर रहे हैं. So just like Veshya Sevan, we have this Parastri Raman. Engaging in a relationship with anyone else other than your spouse. And the biggest example of this is Ravan from Ramayana. He had beautiful wives. Mandodari was one of his patrani, his chief queen. But in spite of that, his lust for Sita ruined his name. Because of Man Kashai, because of that attachment for Sita, he lost his life. He was a he was a Jain. He used to do so much bhakti puja. He was a very noble soul. But in spite of that, because of Parastri Raman, he had to face a lot of difficulties. He had to lose his life, and now he is in which gati? Does anyone know he's in which gati right now? Ravan? बोलो पता है किसी को? He's in Narak gati right now. But guess what? We should never ever condemn किसी भी जीव को गंदा है, बुरा है, ऐसे कभी नहीं कहो. Because Ravan is going to be one of the future Tirthankars. Alright? He is also going to go to moksha. Then comes the last one is chori, the inclination or taking someone else's belongings. Stealing once is a sin, but being addicted to it is a vyasan. Okay, galti se bhi chori nahi karna. Okay, Prasham found his friend's money. He found $10 from his friend on the yard. So instead of giving it to him, suppose Prasham you're on every Sunday you go to the temple, you take those $10 and you put it in the temple box. Daan kar dete ho. Is that right? Would that be daan? No, why not, Hazel?
Because it belonged to his friend.
राइट, चोरी करके दान नहीं देते, दान अपने पैसे का देता है, अपने किसी चीज का देते हैं, राइट? So all these vices lead to immense misfortune. अभी भी अभी प्रकट दुख भी देगा और आगे जाकर भी बहुत सफरिंग सहन करनी पड़ेगी. सो वी मस्ट टेक वाव कि एटलीस्ट द्रव्य व्यसन तो हम करेंगे ही नहीं, लेकिन भाव व्यसन में भी हम इंडल्ज नहीं होंगे. And the root of all the vyasans, the pap, was big monster M mithyatva. Now each one of you is going to tell me how are you going to get rid of, how are you going to take a first step to destroy mithyatva in your life? Is it important for us to destroy mithyatva in our life? Polo? Polo, Prasham, Arhan, Avi, turn your videos on a few seconds and then we finish anyways. How are you going to take the first step? Chalo, we'll start with Amishi. Amishi, Avika, Arhan. We'll go A. Arhan and Avi. Polo, Amishi, what are you going to do to destroy mithyatva in your life?
I'll try to like be more straightforward with things instead of
Okay.
like
All right.
like
That is an external action, right? But mithyatva is not. So that will help you to reduce your pap. It will help you to reduce mayachari, which is great. But my question today is, what are we going to do to eradicate, to diminish, to remove that mithyatva? Mithyatva is ulti manyata. So मेरी उल्टी मान्यता कैसे खत्म हो जाएगी? बोलो अमीशी. If
by
there's a wrong belief, हाँ बोलो.
like meditating and learning more about what's right rather than just thinking
Good.
about what's wrong.
Absolutely. What is the point in focusing on the wrong things? You'll end up doing more mistakes. So instead, focus on what's right. Very, very nice. So meditate. First is learn and then meditate. Yes, Avika. बोलो बेटा. Uh, Avika के बाद Arhan and Avi, be ready. Unmute करो Avika.
I would meditate on my soul and I would like find out like what other Bhagavans, what they did to get rid of their mithyatva so I can do the same thing.
Very nice. So every soul who's gone to moksha has destroyed mithyatva. Do you think anyone can go to moksha with mithyatva? No, 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 no. To go to moksha, you have to become very light. You have to leave all your karmas. And none of your karma will be destroyed if there is mithyatva. So the biggest, the soldier, the king of all karmas is mithyatva. Yes, Arhan, Avi. बोलो जल्दी, unmute कर लो.
I would do meditation to get rid of mithyatva.
Mm-hmm. That's good. It seems like we are going to have an army of meditators here, which is great. Now you can't ditto what the other person had said. Arhan, I'm going to come back to you. Think of something else. Yes, Avi.
Read lots of Jain scriptures so that I understand all the right things.
Excellent. If you don't read, if you don't listen to your mom, okay, believe me, listening to your mom at home is so important because she's the one who's most interested in your wellness, okay, and you becoming the best version of yourself. Like that, Jinwani Ma is the one who wants us to become the best, the purest soul that we are destined to be. Yes, very good, Avi. So, reading scriptures. Yes, Hazel.
Samyak darshan, samyak gyan, samyak charitra.
Oh my goodness. So she's going one step beyond Avi. So Avi says scriptures. Hazel says scriptures पढ़ के मैं क्या करूंगी? Why am I reading the scriptures? For attaining the Samyak Darshan Gyan Charitra. Brilliant, Hazel. Yes, Prasham? Prasham is left. That's fine. Do you know the meaning of the word Prasham? Prasham is the purest thoughts in your mind when you're bowing down to, or listening to Sache Dev Shastra and Guru. तो हम सभी अपने जीवन में ऐसे प्रशम रस को भर दे. May we have the most pious, the most pure thoughts in our mind, because thoughts, words, actions, when all are aligned, फिर क्या होगा? When we meditate upon our soul, फिर हमको सम्यक दर्शन हो जाएगा. Yes, Arhan, coming back to you, beta. Bolo, what are you going to do?
So if I like I was going to say that you could like meditate a lot, but if other than that, I guess I could um figure research some of the Bhagwan.
Ah, very important research. Reflect on all the things that Bhagwans have said, that our acharyas have said. Reflect on that. What am I doing? Acharya ने मुझे ये करने को बोला है. शास्त्र में ये लिखा है. I'm doing this. So what is it that I have to change in my life? Very, very nice. Excellent. Chaliye, so we've completed the chapter of the Sapt Vyasan. Now tomorrow, no, we don't have class for the next 3 days now. All right, so you guys enjoy. I'll see you all Sunday night now. Okay? चलिए जिनवाणी स्तुति. निज निधि निज में बताई यह अनंत उपकार है. इसके लिए जिन वाणी माँ को वंदना शत बार है. वंदना शत बार है. जय जिनेन्द्र सभी को.
जय